Welcome back live to Fred DeLay Gymnasium in Jackson, Tennessee, and this should be a dandy. It is the last of the semifinal matchups, and the last one standing will punch its ticket to take on Valdosta State Monday night in Championship Monday for the South Regionals. It is indeed the Division II NCAA Women's South Regionals. We've been here since noon yesterday, and Valdosta State a thoroughly dominating performance in defeating Lee in our previous game, and now it is the host team and the number one team in the country in 2 polls, Union University, taking on Eckerd from Florida, and the Tritons are coming in here, and they believe in themselves and house money that they're playing with. Let's see who the starters are for tonight. For Eckerd, Sophia Pearson, averaging 14 points a game, and the young lady from England averages 44% from the field. She had 21 in last night's game against Florida Southern. Lauren Vieira, who just seems to do everything with the ball, 6 points, 3 assists, but three rebounds, but 10 assists last night. She is from France. And then Maya Price. I can't say enough about her as well. She is from England. Pearson is from Sweden, folks. Price is from England, and 9 points, 9 rebounds last night, a 6'2" junior. Sirkalina Rimdahl, and she had some great moments last night, 12 points and 5 rebounds. She's from Denmark, a transfer from North Dakota State. And then you got Einarsdottir. She is a 6'2" sophomore from Iceland. Thoroughly international flavor on this Eckerd team, coached by Paul Hansinger. For Union, Lady Bulldogs led by Shanique Lucas. Last night, 14 points and 3 rebounds. She is originally from New Guinea, but now from Thailand. Ashton Baker, also known as the Flash, 20 points last night to lead the Lady Bulldogs, along with 7 rebounds and 3 assists. She's from Nesbitt, Mississippi, a graduate transfer. Jalencia Williams, the player of the year in the Gulf South Conference and the South region. Jalencia, 13 points, 9 rebounds last night in the quarterfinals, a 6'2" senior from Indianapolis. And then you have Bethany Dillard. She had 5 points last night, a big 3-pointer during that game. She's from Maumelle, Arkansas, 5'10" freshman. And Emily Dunnigan, graduate student from Dixon, Tennessee, just up the road from where we are. 6 points and 3 rebounds, and those are your starters. And Mark Campbell has gone with pretty much that same roster for the bulk of the season. Mark comes in with a 27-2 record and 24 consecutive victories. As you see, it's going to be a hostile crowd tonight for those who are here supporting Eckerd, and that's what you expect to see. There's going to be a big atmosphere, but I will tell you, in talking to Paul Hansinger and the Tritons last night, they told me they are really looking forward to this game because they want to be in a game where there's a huge amount of atmosphere, a lot of yelling and screaming. They feel like they're up to the task. They come in at 21-4. And during the course of tonight's broadcast, you're going to be hearing from some of these players and coaches. We're going to be bringing you that during some of the breaks, and I hope you enjoy hearing from them because they gave us a lot of good material. Let's go down and watch the players as they are introduced.
At forward, for Eckerd, a 5'9" freshman from Auckland, New Zealand, number 5, Hannah Lippert. At forward for Union, a 5'10" freshman from Arkansas, number 20, Bethany Dillard. At forward for Eckerd, a 5'9" sophomore from Parkridge, Illinois, number 10, Nicole Smith. At forward for Union, a 5'8" junior from Portland,
Your introductions. One change in the starting lineup for Eckerd. Paul Hunsinger is going to go with Hannah Wentworth, the 5'9 freshman from New Zealand who had 15 points last night, so she is going to be in there instead of Ainsley's daughter. There is Mike Mann and his band in the stands. They're going to be bringing a lot of entertainment lively here this evening. So, get your favorite hot tea, hot chocolate, or whatever you want to have, and let's enjoy it, because this ought to be a great brand of basketball tonight between Union and Eckerd, two teams that have rarely played each other in the course of their long history. And so it is Price to jump it with Williams, and Union gets the tip. Let the games begin. This Lady Bulldog team, of course, this has long been the home of Union basketball. It was not the original home. Oh, my goodness, miscommunication, but it is Baker. And it hangs up on the lip, and the rebound comes off to Pearson. We'll be hearing from both Mark Campbell and Paul Hunsinger, and right through the defenders, this lightning-fast Vieira. She is huge on the floor, and first blood goes to Eckerd. Last night, 20 points for Ashton Baker, and she was on her A game last night, 7 of 11 from the floor. And this, of course, is one of the toughest post players you will ever see. In Jalencia Williams. They're down to 6 on the shot clock, and so Lucas may have to take it herself, and goes all the way, gets the spin. Round and round and round she goes, and where she stops was right through the bottom. Big three off the back of the iron for Price, and Union the rebound. Both of these teams say it's so important, and it is Baker. Got the three. And there's a big student body in here that is going to be supporting the Lady Bulldogs tonight. I've been so impressed with Vieira in this tournament so far. And she goes for the three. Air ball. And nobody was going to be allowed through to chase that down from Jalencia Williams. I spoke to Mark Campbell briefly before this game tonight, and he said, nobody can predict what's going to happen. He said, I just hope that this team, which is one of the most fun and enjoyable that he's ever coached, he said, I just hope that they have one more opportunity after tonight. And Lucas lost it off her hands, but it was knocked away as she drove in for the layup. So Union will play it with 15 on the shot clock. And, of course, Paul Hunsinger told us last night that he was so pleased with the way his team played what amounted to old school basketball. They were just really gritty, determined, and they played possession by possession. Big three. She has got her A game again, and that is the Flash, Ashton Baker. Grad transfer from Liberty University, and she has had a huge dimension to this Union team. Tipped away by Lucas. Eckerd knocked off Florida Southern, which had defeated the Tritons 3 times previously during the season and during their conference tournament, and they just simply played strong defense. Went off the head of Dillard. And the jumper. Just off the back of the iron, and getting the offensive board is Pearson. I loved meeting Sophia as well as one of her teammates last night. She's going for the big bomb. Yes. They left her open just long enough, and it was a quick release to make it an 8-4 game. They're going to say it's a 2. They said she was just over the stripe. Could as well have been a 3 because she put a lot of power behind that shot. Lucas. And the jumper. Short. Beard has added that. Dunnigan has added that to her game this year. The reason we sometimes call her Beard or Dunnigan, she was known as Emily Beard. Union with a steal. Here goes the flash. It's a 2-on-3. She's going to take it all the way. Left-hand layup. It curls off, but it is going back to the Tritons. Oh, my goodness. She's one of the fastest players I have ever seen, and it just takes the life out of the stands whenever she goes down, and it doesn't drop. She can swing it from the left hand or the right hand. Sometimes it's just harder for her as a shorter player to get the geometry, but she has been exciting to watch, as all of these players have been. Big three. Off the mark for Price, and Union the rebound. And here goes the flash once again. Lady Bulldogs have won this regional once since they have been in NCAA Division II. They kick it outside, and that was Lucas moving just a bit too fast, and it was at her feet, and she kicked it out of bounds. But this Eckerd team was just sky high last night after their win over Florida Southern, a team that they'd had a hard time unlocking the key from during the season. Big three is off the back of the iron, but again, it bounces back into the hands of Pearson. She's already got 3 boards in the game. You got Scales directing traffic. And that curl hook is there, and the foul. And Mark Campbell didn't like the call, and it is on Jalencia Williams, and you hear the Boo Birds out with this. They don't like that one whatsoever, and the official will be stoic. At the line is Price. That was a beautiful give and go. You'll be hearing from Maya tonight during this game. She was, again, delightful last night. When I was walking down the hall with her, and we were mentioning that it was snowing outside, and she says, "Oh, I am not prepared for that." Williams just had it stolen away, but they pick it back up, and Baker's open. No, off the mark. And you can hear that loud contingent over on the left-hand side in the northwest corner of this gymnasium. They're going to be entertaining tonight, to say the least. But the atmosphere is huge. Trying for the first lead in the contest is Eckerd. And it's almost stripped away, and it is blocked. That is the 73rd block of the season for Jalencia Williams. She's going to face a big challenge from Price tonight. Now, this is her first opportunity to try to work one-on-one, and she has it blocked. Union will play it. Fans wanted a foul. Look clean from here. And timeout is called. 4:37 remaining. Union leads it 8-7. And this is a tournament that today 3 of the 4 semifinalists are from the Gulf South Conference. And we asked Mark Campbell about the Gulf South Conference tournament's performance.
You know how I feel about the GSC. I think every night is a different opponent that plays a different style of play. We have teams that are unbelievable in transition. We have others that just execute in half court. We have people that slow down the shot clock and make it to the end of possession. And I think this just makes us better, and it makes us prepare better. It makes us understand different styles of play on a night in and night out basis and being able to execute. So it doesn't surprise me at all that Marty that won at Lee and that Valdosta won. They've done a good job of that all year long. And
these are two teams, as we say, this is different because for both of the coaches and for the teams, largely you have scouted each other from videotape or maybe digital video that's online, and then having a chance to see their performance yesterday. And so it's not like a team you're accustomed to seeing over and over. In talking with Paul Hunsinger and his team last night, they said this is one of the things they enjoy is not playing somebody who is in their conference that they play all the time. And Paul said this was one of those situations where you just really, you don't come to this tournament just to play and say you've done a good job. You come to play for a championship, and that's definitely what this Eckerd team is going to do tonight, as well as Union. And the key thing for Eckerd is to avoid allowing this loud contingent in here as they are scanning to be sure that this is actually Union ball. They're looking at the replay. As Paul Hunsinger said, and the Union team I'm sure feels the same way, you didn't come here just to play and say, we had a good season. We want to win a championship. Well, whoever does win is going to have to get by a very tough Valdosta State team that just rocked Lee University today, 70-44. And nobody expected that dominance. They go inside to Williams. She's being guarded by Price, and she draws the foul from Price. Price, and you can see Hunsinger doesn't like it, and two of the Tritons didn't. From this vantage point, it looked like that she was clipped on the wrist. So Jalencia goes to the line for two. Now, she is only a 62% free throw shooter. So typically, she doesn't usually get both, but she's on a good start there. She has been the dominant post player in the nation this year, and she gets them both. And as some of her coaches will say, when she gets two free throws at the line, it's almost like getting four. Vieira. She is lightning fast and decides to put it up for the three, and it's off the back of the iron, and they are scrambling to get those offensive boards, and they've done a good job of it so far. The second three is not there, and the rebound coming off to Dillard. Baker on that bicycle very, very quickly. Mark Campbell says this would be a battle tonight. It will be a challenge. And they lob it in again to Williams. Down to 6 on the shot clock, and underneath she goes, and the foul. And boy, this place starts erupting. And the foul again is on Price, and that is her second very quickly. So they will bring in, as her sub, it's going to be Ainsley's-Daughter, the young lady from Iceland, and a three-point play. So you got Williams connecting up with 5 so far, Baker with 6, and Union leads by 6. It'll be interesting to see the difference. And beautiful three from outside. Nicely navigated by Ainsley's-Daughter. Comes right in and makes her presence felt. It'll be interesting to see the difference in the defense that she provides to Williams. Baker for the three. Oh, in and out. That one just simply looked like a can that was opened and the food came out. Long three is not there, and the foul. And Ashton took it very, very hard. The foul is charged to Ainsley's-Daughter. We got 2:52 to go, and as we expected, this is a war out here because both these teams are so talented. It's going to be a very physical game, to say the least. Samaria Thompson is in for Union. And she was triple-teamed. And Dillard forces it up, and it doesn't go, but Williams gets the follow. Williams trying to get on her A game tonight. She is the game leader with 7. But they can't rely solely on her. It is going to have to be a team effort against this Eckerd team that is so double tough. And it is Ainsley's-Daughter again, and it is just off the mark. She was wide open. The thing that Vieira does so well is she gets underneath and deceives everybody. It is Lucas. No, way off to the top of the glass. Baker plays it. Just a bit short. Had a difficulty. That's going to get behind everybody. Layup is there. Beautifully navigated by Nicole Scales. Gets her first basket of the game. So that was really a 4-point turnaround on that possession. Lady Bulldogs went undefeated in the Gulf South Conference this year, 18-0. Williams way out front being double teamed. They're going to have to hurry, and she spins, triple spins, and gets it. I don't know how she did that, but she did. That's almost, you can't defense that. Ainser's daughter, and that's going to be on Williams, and that is her second. So you've got both post players now with 2 fouls, and that's immediately going to put Keely Robinson into the game. Williams with 9 of Union's 17 points. Now, Robinson is not nearly as physical. She's a strong defensive player, but she's not as tall, and she's not nearly as physical. Ainser's daughter to the line for 2. Excellent free throw shooter she is. Well, that's a big blow to both of these teams. Maya Price and Jalencia Williams on the bench, each with 2 fouls. So that evens up things quite a bit now. 17-14, Union by 3. Union's big strength in the season has been as a second and third quarter team. But we saw last night, and it is Lucas, way too high for that left-hand layup. And they're going to give it back to Union. And they'll play it over in the corner. This is a double tough defensive team from Eckerd. We saw that last night against Florida Southern. Few things I think that they are few things that they're reluctant to do on the floor, but they are just tight on defense. Samaria Thompson. And Union's going to have to hurry, and that's not there. So that's the equivalent of a shot turnover for the Lady Bulldogs, and we get down to this final possession of the first quarter, and it could be tied or Union leading by 1 if Eckerd delivers. And it's Vieira. She's going to take it right down the lane and miss the layup. I don't think Lucas is going to try it. She did, but she doesn't have that much strength. So the Lady Bulldogs on top 17-14 at the end of this first quarter, but it has been a war. Well, we talked to Paul Hunsinger, the head coach of Eckerd last night, about his team's performance, how resilient they were after losing 3 times to Florida Southern and then winning last night.
This is a team that we struggled with throughout the regular season. Well, I thought we played well in our 3 games and just did not manage to win. We competed really well with them, but we did not pick up the win. So it was really good for our team to pick up the win this time around. We kind of challenged the team this week in particular after our last loss to Southern, so they've had a long week of practice, I think. But they really responded today, and I will say Florida Southern is a great team, and Betsy does a great job preparing her team. It was another dogfight game, as it typically is. That could have gone either way, and I've been on that side of it as well. So I feel for them. I feel for the seniors in particular, who are excellent players. They're a great opponent, and they'll find their way back, I'm sure.
One of the things that we detected last night about Paul Hunsinger is that when his team went down 12 in the first quarter, he kept them calm. He was very relaxed. He had an upbeat expression on his face, and the team did not get tight. And it was in the latter part of the second quarter and then definitely in the third and fourth that it became just a possession-by-possession game, and Eckerd dictated the tempo against a team to which it had lost 3 previous games. And they ended up winning it and advancing to the semifinals of the South Regionals. And it will be Eckerd ball to start the second quarter. Great turnout here tonight at David Blackstock Court. And in case you just joined us, both post players are on the bench with 2 fouls each. Mark Campbell going with a little bit smaller lineup right now. And that one caroms off, but Union has been giving up a lot of offensive rebounds in this game. That is so far tonight, the 5th one. And I know Hunsinger does not have any problem, and they get right behind Samaria Thompson and Pearson with 4 to close it to a 1-point game. Baker being guarded by Pearson. Union looks a little bit tighter now after getting out to that early lead and then losing Williams, their bread and butter player, underneath. Down to 5. Baker's going to have to hurry. Puts it up one-handed. Off the mark. Goes right. It's good to see our former colleague Logan Whaley in the house tonight. That one just off the back of the iron, but once again, the offensive rebound. And they work around the perimeter. Backdoor play, and again missing the layup was Wentworth. They've had 2 opportunities to take the lead and have blown layups. There have been some games this season that Union has had problems with that. It is Thompson for the 3. Her first long-distance shot of the game, and the Lady Bulldogs back to a 4-point lead over the Tritons. And a whistle away from the ball. And it appears it's an offensive foul. That's going to be charged to Ainersdottir. And Mark Campbell making some substitutions. And Keely Robinson checks out. And he's going to go with Jalencia Williams playing with the 2 fouls at this point. Mark has taken a gamble before with players that are in foul trouble. Give and go and overshooting it. Sometimes that's just a little bit of tight nerves. Bethany Dillard was wide open. It's a little bit of tight nerves to get in that kind of situation. Now, it's going to be interesting to see if they try to attack Williams and get her to pick up that 3rd foul. And a big 3. Bank shot goes through. Wentworth will tell you she practices that every day as they're walking through their game preparation to get a bank shot like that for a 3. You can see the grin on her face at that point. And it is Thompson. And she answers it. Thompson has been outstanding off the bench for this Union team since January. And Vieira so quick underneath. And I thought for a minute we got a shootout in the OK Corral, and the foul is going to be charged to Baker on that rebound. So Ashton commits her first, and that's the first person other than Williams to commit a foul in the contest. Checking out is Shiley Morrison for Union, and coming back in is Shanique Lucas. Mark Campbell will shuttle in and out a lot of players in this game. Eckerd only goes with 9 players on its roster, and he went with 7 last night. And it going into the paint again. 7 on the shot clock. They're working against Thompson, and they had to desperately ring that one up. That was good defense on the part of Union. They did not let them penetrate the inside. There are some situations, though, when you play Williams in a case like this that she may have to give up the opportunity at going for one. She's going one-on-one with Aza and had nowhere to go. 3-second violation. She was going one-on-one on the inside, and she was trying. The one problem that she's going to have is that she may have to give Ainersdottir some baskets underneath rather than risk the 3rd foul. And so from that standpoint, you'd have to say advantage Eckerd. Vieira. And she'll pull up and do one of those, and just off the back of the iron. But saving another offensive rebound. This team has already had 15 rebounds to Union's 10. Williams is going to have to play softer. The jumper is not there, and Baker the rebound. Baker gets a lot of boards for a point guard. And it is Thompson between the defenders and drawing the foul. And that one is charged to Scales. That's her first. Only one foul for each team in this second quarter. So Samaria Thompson to the line. You didn't hear a lot from her in November and December, but once she came off the bench during some conference games in January, she became a go-to bench player for Mark Campbell. And Samaria is from just up the road in Dyersburg, Tennessee, just about 45 miles from here in Jackson. And missed the second, but Lucas, the offensive board, and Union hasn't done much of that tonight to get those second chance opportunities. As we approach the 5-minute mark. Down to 5, they got to hurry. And Thompson's going to get in position and go for one, and it's off the mark. And there was no possible way that Dillard was going to catch up to it. Union, 8 out of 23 from the floor. Been putting up a lot of shots, but they just haven't been falling. It's a 34% mark. Eckerd only 27%. So this has been more. You haven't seen transitions in this one. This has been more one of those grinded-out type of games. I know everybody in the house was probably, their hands were ringing when they saw Williams go after that steal. They don't want to see her get a third foul. Big three. In and out, and Williams the rebound. Her fifth. Thompson, and it is the offensive foul. That was great defensive positioning, even though the locals don't like it. That was great defensive positioning on the part of Eckerd, and we have timeout. And Union leading over Eckerd 24-19. We talked to Jalencia Williams, the Gulf South Player of the Year and the South Region Player of the Year, about her personal achievements this season and what it has meant to her to have an opportunity at leadership and success this year.
What does this mean to you personally, to achieve what you have achieved and then to have the opportunity to go deep into this tournament?
I mean, words can't really even describe like what this means to me and what this team means to me. Just being able to play with a group of girls that are so caring and so nurturing, it's a blessing, especially coming back after a COVID year. So I'm just blessed.
And Jalencia playing with 2 fouls. She got 2 early fouls in the first quarter, but Mark Campbell is rolling the dice and keeping her in there. I can remember so many times when he had Amy Philemlee Flores, and she was one of the outstanding players. In fact, I can remember a game that she scored 42 against Valdosta State. And in their drive to what ultimately became a runner-up slot in these same regionals, I will never forget, there were 4 games down the stretch in February and March that Mark Campbell kept Amy Philemlee in the game with 4 fouls at a point in the game that you would have thought maybe he would have kept her out earlier, and she didn't foul out in a single one of them. And that's just the kind of faith that he had in her to play her game, but to avoid elimination from the contest. I tell you, though, I enjoyed watching this Eckerd team last night because of their resiliency. Dillard working against Pearson. And she jumps from the corner and gets it right from the corner of the free throw circle. And so for Pearson, that's 6. She is their leader. Williams is the game leader with 9. Thompson off the bench for Union has 7. Lucas has been held to 2, but she couldn't be a breakout player. And it is Dillard. In and out. Bethany has had 3 opportunities, and 2 of them have been right in the cylinder and did not fall. Last night, Union was much hotter from behind the arc in the first half. 44% is not bad as it is right now. That one goes just astray, and the foul. And that one is going to be on Remdahl. That is her first. That's the third team foul. We have only had in the entire contest 9 fouls called. Now, dribbling is not, there you go, the give and go play, and she's going to lose it. Baker gets it back, though, is going to reset it. Baker does not lose her composure. She's double teamed. She's going to have help. Lucas with 4 on the shot clock and falls away and connects. She can lull you to sleep and then pull back and hit that 10 to 12 foot jumper. Under 3 minutes in the first half. This has been a dandy so far. 26-21. Union has led most of the way, but they have not been able to pull away. And Pearson is called for traveling. Changing of the pivot foot, just a little bit too much of an extra step. And so that is the third turnover for Eckerd. So Baker with a more deliberate tempo this time. Union has not been able to get a 3-possession lead in the contest. And it is Dunnigan. You could tell almost the time she released it, it was going right. It just sailed on her. And I've talked to her about that, and she says you can feel the ball when it's going. She says, I know it's going in when I see it. And Williams, oh, what a high bank off the glass that was. An amazing shot, and Williams came perilously close to a third foul here with 2 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Double teaming against Williams. She has nowhere to go. And she gambled on that one and threw it away. Nobody was coming to her. And the layup is there. They just could not challenge Ainsersdottir. And it's now a 1-point game. Eckerd has picked 5 points off of Union's turnovers. Lucas, again, she may pull up and go for the 3. Yes! She got the spin, and Lucas has 7. Union is yet to surrender the lead since the early going of the first quarter. It's getting loud again at the Fred, as this place is called in Jackson, Tennessee. And it's going to be charged against Lucas. And you see how the locals feel. They don't like anything tonight if it's not positive for Union. And Mark Campbell didn't like it. He thought, frankly, that the ball hit the end line before the foul. Lucas is a just tenacious defensive performer. And the 3 is there from 26 feet out for Wentworth. That is her second 3 of the contest. We're back to a 1-point game. We told you this was going to be a barn burner, and it is shaping up as that. Big 3 is off the back of the iron, and Baker salvages it. Lucas going for it herself. No. Goes right. Eckerd a chance to take its first lead since the first minute of the contest. They have to shoot by the time there's 6 seconds on the game clock. Good screen being set, and Ainsersdottir tries for it long end. It is rebounded by Williams. Union can set up a final play. This game is looking like one that is not good for any of you that have to take a nerve pill. And the whole crowd is counseling it down, and Williams got it to go. I didn't think there was a way in the world she could make that happen, and she did. Now, they're going to come over and look at it on replay, but it appeared that she released it before the horn went off, and I think they're going to go on ahead and say it is, but they are going to look at it. There was just, I thought there was no way that was going to happen, but she got the final basket, and Williams is the game leader with 11, 31-28. Apparently is the Union lead, but they're going to be absolutely certain. But it appeared there were about 0.2 of a second on the clock when that ball left her hands. Regardless, Union will have a lead. It's just the difference of whether it's 1 point or 3. And so we'll keep it here until the officials make their final designation on this. And again, they're going to look closely at it. And I think they're going to let it stand. So Union leads it on that final basket, unbelievably so, by Jalencia Williams, 31-28 in what has been just an entertaining first half. Let me run down the totals for you in scoring for Eckerd. It is Pearson and Wentworth with 6 points. Wentworth have come on 2 long bomb three-pointers. And then you have 5 for Einersdottir. And I'm trying my best to get her name correct as we go down the lane tonight. I know at one point I got a little bit of a stutter step on that, but nonetheless, those 3 have a combination of 17 points in the game. And then for Union, Jalencia Williams, with that last basket, has 11 to lead the Lady Bulldogs and the game. 4 out of 5 from the floor, 3 for 3 from the free throw line, 6 rebounds. Shanique Lucas with 7, and she's got a couple of rebounds and an assist. And then Ashton Baker got them started with the first 3-pointers of the game. She has 6 and 4 rebounds. And 7 off the bench for Samaria Thompson. So far, the wing guards have not connected yet, and that's Dillard and Beard. Some of you may be experiencing some technical issues, so we're going to continue our commentary for those of you who may be watching this on a delayed basis. Union leading 31-28. And we are about 40 seconds away from the start of this second half. This Eckerd team has just been like a pesky dog that won't stay out of your flower bed. That's exactly the way they've been all game. Union has had 3 opportunities to get to a 3-possession lead and has blown every single one of them. And at halftime, I'll just verbally give you the totals on this. I'm going to get back to my trusty counter here and let you know. Union shooting 37% from the floor, Eckerd 33. 3-pointers, Union 5 of 14 for 36%, Eckerd 17%, only 3 of 17. But Eckerd has out-rebounded Union 18-15 in this contest, and that includes 8 offensive rebounds. And there you go for the big bomb, in and out. Baker tried to get a big one to start with, and this is going to give, once again, an opportunity to tie for Eckerd. This has been an excellent defensive show tonight for both teams. And driving high off the glass, Pearson could not make it go, and Union will play it, and the big argument starts off immediately with Wentworth. She didn't like the call, and apparently it was an erroneous indication, so Eckerd will play it underneath. I could see that Eckerd, when Wentworth, she extended her arms out as if to say, you know, what gives? It went off of her. And they finally did correct it. And again, that was a little bit of an elbow, but the 3 is short. But look at the extension on the part of Vieira. 5 rebounds. Big 3 to tie it. It's not there. And she gets it again. There are very few players that have outsped, and Lucas finally grabs it. Very few players have outsped Ashton Baker to a rebound, but that Vieira is unbelievable. She has 5 boards herself, and that's going to be a throwaway. And at times during the game tonight, Lucas seems to just lose her concentration with passing, and you can see Mark Campbell's reaction to that. That's what you call an unforced error. It wasn't the defense that made that happen. That was just a mental error. And a chance again to try to get a third foul on Williams, and it goes astray, and Williams with her 7th rebound. Baker, she has been really given fits tonight by Pearson. Almost a kick back to the back row. Here goes Lucas. Yes! Union with a full 2-possession lead at 34-28. But every time that happens, Eckerd answers. It happened all the way through the first half. And I'm going to tell you, Vieira was wide open for a 3, but instead and this is what Paul teaches, this disciplined offense. Off the mark for Price going for the 3. She's unusual being a post player who they can count on at times to drill a 3. Inside they go, and that was a quick double team, but Union picks it back up. For the 3, Dillard. No, too much on it. The wing guards have not been able to hit. They are 0 for 7 from outside. If you add Leah Caldwell's miss, that's 0 for 8. So Union cannot get a 3-possession lead. Big 3. Off the mark for Wentworth. And they say she was beyond the out-of-bounds line when she tried to toss it in, and so Price has to retreat back down the floor. So Caldwell's going to come back in for Dunnigan. And timeout is called. 7:27 remaining. It is Union leading Eckerd 34-28. And we talked to Maya Price before the game about how she looked forward to the challenge of playing in this hostile territory on Union's home floor.
We watched a little bit of their game earlier. We're excited to play. The atmosphere of the crowd, obviously there being a home court here. We're just excited, I think.
Yes, very excited.
And to play a different team as well.
Yeah.
And that young lady from England, she was the one who told me last night as we were walking back to the media room, and she said, as we told her that there was about 4 inches of snow on the ground, and she says, "Oh, I was not prepared for that." Beautiful English accent that she has. This is such an international team with Eckerd. They're from Sweden, New Zealand, France, England, Denmark, Iceland, and Austria. And then you got one from Park Ridge, Illinois, and from Sugar City, Idaho. There's not a Floridian on this team, but they have put their stamp here in the regionals, and they are giving the nation's #1 ranked team everything that they have asked for. Nobody has had a lead in this game of larger than 6. As we mentioned, Union has had 3 opportunities to take that kind of lead and has blown every single one of them. They'll have another one this time. And Dillard will toss it in. And this is one of those games that Beard has shuttled in and out, but just about everybody has got to be prepared to go all the way in this second half from both teams. Dillard working against that tenacious Vieira. And Caldwell feeds inside. I don't know how that happened, but Dillard recovered it, and she was fouled. I don't know how that happened. That is not the way that play was drawn up, I can assure you. So back to a new 20 for Baker to toss in. This Union team will take some dangerous chances with passing. And trying to work off of Williams' screen, and the high kick off the glass just doesn't work. And Union blows another opportunity for a 3-possession lead. And if you keep blowing those, you keep letting this Eckerd team hang around Price for the 3, and it's an air ball. And those guys in the stands offer the exclamation point to that. This is absolutely a much tougher game than what Valdosta State had as they just rolled over Lee 70-44. Baker jumps and cannot get it to roll. Union is shooting 34% from the floor tonight. And that's well below their season average and traveling. You could tell that was about a two-step, almost like Pearson was on Dancing with the Stars. Paul Hansinger didn't like it, but the official said, yep, she took one too many steps. Union with yet another opportunity, and there goes the steal. And this may be going all the way. And down the stretch she goes and blows it. Pearson had the opportunity, and Dillard felt the footsteps coming behind her. That may have been what happened. That's usually a footstep situation that you have where a player is so wide open off of a transition steal, and we haven't had tonight, and just simply overshoots the layup. Union with 8 on the shot clock. Gonna have to hurry. And here you go. Lucas couldn't get it up high enough, and we'll see who the foul is charged to, and that is the third on Price. And 5:29 remaining. Samaria Thompson checks in to replace Dillard. So Lucas on the season is Union's top free throw shooter, 86%. And at long last, Union has a 3-possession lead at 35-28. But this is very much a defensive game. And Shanique with both of them. Biggest lead of the night for the Lady Bulldogs at 8. But you watch this team come rattling back. That's what they did last night against Florida Southern. And they've got Ainersdottir back in there. High jump was way too short. That one just simply went off her fingertips. Inside to Williams. She beat everybody and will draw the foul. And let's see who that's called on. That is going to be on Wentworth. That's her first. They've got to be very careful because Ainersdottir has 2 fouls herself, and so we've got timeout with 4:59 remaining, and Union on top 36-28. Before this game, we talked to Mark Campbell about, this was actually last night, whether it was going to be tougher to play Florida Southern or Eckerd. He said it didn't matter. Either one of them would present a serious challenge.
We've done a good job of that all year long and focused on it. And again, we've got to watch games tonight. We've watched Eckerd and Florida Southern all week as well. And so it'll definitely be a challenge with the way they play.
And Mark Campbell, he knew this was going to be this kind of game. He said that Eckerd was going to be tenacious defensively, and indeed they have been, really from the get-go of this game. This is one that when it's over with, regardless of who wins, it's almost like you've been digging a trench all day in 103-degree weather. It is just absolutely one of those that over and over and over again, just at the time you think you've got, if not a comfortable lead, at least a fair lead, and then here comes this Eckerd team right back. You remember last night, Florida Southern had them down by 12. And then in just possession after possession, they continued to gnaw away. It was like watching a woodpecker peck on a tree, and the bark and everything, the chips start falling. And then they took the lead and did not give it up. Ended up winning by 5. And as we've mentioned, this team came in here tonight saying that they were very, very happy to play in this kind of environment, knowing that they were not going to be the favored team and the place was going to be loud, not in their favor. Williams with the free throw. Got it. Tonight she is 4 for 4 from the line. And for the first time, Union could take a 4-possession lead if she connects. And remember, she sat out a lot. Got it. She sat out a lot of the second quarter with 2 fouls, and then Mark Campbell took a risk and put her back in, and she did not commit the third, although there was one instance she came perilously close to it. First time of a double-digit lead in this game, and overshooting it was Scales, and Williams with her 8th rebound. The typical thing for each team in this situation is to play patient ball. Thompson thought about pulling off that three. They are triple teaming Williams, taking a big gamble, and they feed her underneath, and that's how you do it. The bluff and feint by Thompson, and she dished off to Williams, and Union leads by 12. Williams with 15. And a big three. In and out for Enersdottir, and Lucas the rebound. So it's getting to be like an Amana side-by-side in shooting, and it is Williams to the deck. And it apparently is going to be a traveling violation, and you can see how the editorial comments are coming from the crowd right now. Eckerd just shakes it right off. This is anything but an insurmountable lead, and this team proved it last night. And they're capable of hitting it from outside. Enersdottir, and it's knocked away, and Lucas charged with the foul, her second. As I say, when this place gets loud, it gets loud, and it doesn't matter what the officials call. If it goes against Union, they're gonna respond in kind. But this is the kind of atmosphere that Paul Hunsinger told us, said that we welcome this because this is what you have to do if you're going to go all the way and win. And Enersdottir is still working against Williams, but she's playing out very, very high. They're down to 7 on the shot clock. And almost losing it. Now they're really going to have to hurry. They took up a big gamble, and it was short. It looked like that Pearson was going to have it right down the middle, but she did not. It was short, and that was probably because of desperation. Eckerd has not scored in this quarter. It was 31-28 at halftime. I don't know if I've ever seen that happen 7 minutes into the third quarter. Thompson is way outside. Dangerous cross-court pass. Now Union is in trouble. To Williams underneath, and she has it. 17 points and the foul, and listen to him at the Fred. They took it down to 2 seconds on the shot clock, and they fed the Gulf South Conference and South Regional Player of the Year, and she delivered and got the three. She has not missed from the line tonight. Now Union's breaking open a 15-point lead, 12-0 in this quarter. Big three answer shot is in and out. They have had so many opportunities that have been like that. So they're going to bring it back down the other way. That's the 15th foul. It was charged against Pearson. We've only had 17 fouls called in the entire game, and so Leah Cauble, she is a 5'10 junior from Oran, Missouri, and she has an opportunity for two. And off the back of the iron. You want to get as many of these as you can with the clock stopped. Connects. A 6-possession lead now at 44-28. Union has just been very workmanlike in this, but I can't believe Eckerd has not scored in the third quarter. Enersdottir, and that's enough. Is it or is it not? No. That is going to be charged to Samaria Thompson, and that was a bang, bang play. Woohoo! Enersdottir will go to the line for two, but I must tell you, that one was a close one. And they're going to try to give her trouble, and they did. This crowd is really into it, and some of you may not believe that Union, many regular season games, barely has 250 or 300 people here. Enersdotter with the second one to make it 44-29. That is the first point for Eckerd in this quarter with 2 minutes and 23 seconds remaining. And they're going to go to a half-court trap. And that has had the capability of bothering Union, but Baker usually is the one who can beat it through. That lightning-fast speed, and she is utterly fearless. Thompson being worked on by Enersdotter. They tried to get that give and go to Baker. 2 minutes with 7 on the shot clock. Baker for the three. Yes! The Flash with 9 in Union by 18. Chance of defense coming up from the entire house. And going for the answer shot. It is not going to fall. 2 bangs off of it. And finally Thompson with it. Union could lead by 20 on this possession. And knocked away beautifully by Enersdotter. And they're going to get Maya Price back in there with 3 fouls. And also checking back in are Pearson and Vieira. This is at the point now, even though we still got another quarter to play, that Paul Hansinger has got to throw the whole house out on the table. Lucas, just one of the most exciting players in the Gulf South Conference. It is Baker. Short. You can tell it from the minute she let it go, and the foul is going to send Dillard to the free throw line. And that one is charged to Knapp. That's Macy Knapp, the 5'10 sophomore from Sugar City, Idaho. I like the name of her high school, Sugar Salem High School. So try to say that real fast. Sugar Salem High School. Sugar Salem High School. Oh, man, I love that. Dillard, who at one point in time was shooting 91% from the free throw line this season, connects with both. And the Lady Bulldogs lead by 20. And if you just tuned in, you can't believe that this was 31-28 at halftime. But Eckerd has just been ice cold in this third quarter. Nothing has seemed to work. Big bomb three is just way off the mark. And Pearson just cannot get to it. They're having a third quarter about like Lee had an entire game against Valdosta State. And it is Lucas. Boy, she loves to go down the right side of that lane. They're still giving Williams Fitz, and underneath the reverse layup by Lucas. 14 for Shanique. 51-29. What a quarter the Lady Bulldogs have had, outscoring Eckerd 20-1. And they're going to give it back to Eckerd with 32 seconds remaining, 18 on the shot clock. 20-1 quarter. Caldwell will check back in. Mark's going to get all of his long shooters back into the game. Lucas will come out. 14 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. A half a minute remaining. Wide open. And the three is off the mark. They just cannot hit anything right now. You got to feel for them because they were so precise last night. That's 3 of 27 in three-point shooting for Eckerd. A big three. Beard for the three. Emily Beard-Dunnigan makes it a 25-point Union lead, and this place is erupting. Well, that is a third quarter to remember for Union fans because the Lady Bulldogs outscored Eckerd 23-1. So we talked to Paul Hunsinger about how he was going to approach playing Union on its own floor, and it was going well until that third quarter.
Just to be back here in San Francisco, we've been to the tournament multiple times, and it seems that we're squaring off with another Sunshine State Conference opponent. And just to get out of our league and get into the Gulf South a little bit, and to do it in this atmosphere against the quality of team we're facing tomorrow, I wanted that so badly for this team, especially this younger team that now can grow quickly through that experience, and it's going to have to handle a lot tomorrow, but we'll be up for that. I mean, like every team here, we didn't come here to win one game and check out, right? All 8 teams came here. We all want to win the tournament, and we all want to advance one game at a time, and we got this first one done. They have to believe we can win again tomorrow, and we're prepared to do that, and we'll see how we execute the game plan and go from there.
Well, that's one of those that if you're a Union fan, you say, how about that? What was really a game in peril at halftime, and this Eckerd team looked poised for a run, and even for the first 2 to 3 minutes of the third quarter, looked to be poised for a run to take the lead. And just like that, a 23-1 third quarter for the Lady Bulldogs, and they're up 54-29. And I know Paul Hunsinger wishes that he could rewind the tape and restart that third quarter. And Union's only really shooting 42% for the game from the floor. They're down to 10 on the shot clock, trying to get it into Williams, and it's knocked away. And with 9, Union will play it. And again, they have really stiffened on defense against Williams, and she has still managed 18 points and 8 rebounds. And hasn't committed a foul since late in the first quarter. They kick it outside to Dunnigan. Yes! Emily Dunnigan with 2 threes now, and it is a 28-point Union lead. Price and the Eckerd team, I don't want to say they look rattled. It's just been tough for them. And finally, driving home the first field goal of the second half is Maya Price. And with this kind of lead, Williams largely backed off. She gave her token pressure on that, but she didn't need to commit the third foul. Knocked away by Ainersdottir. If Union holds on to this, it will be a Gulf South Conference matchup for the ages on Monday night between the Lady Bulldogs and Valdosta State. And we'll have it. In all kinds of trouble is Thompson, and she calls timeout. Well, as she does, and Union on top 57-31. We talked to Ashton Baker, Union's graduate transfer, on how it has been for her and the way this team has accepted her as a team player coming from Liberty University.
I think that says more about the girls than it does me, just how they've been able to open up. And they welcomed me, I think, from the first weekend just with open arms. And I think that's what's neat about our team is how everyone truly enjoys being around each other and loves each other, and they made it easy.
One of the most delightful young women you will ever meet. Her parents, I don't think, have missed a solitary game. They come up from Mississippi for every single one of them, and she has been a spark plug, just a lightning bug for this team. If she's not scoring in double figures, she's usually getting rebounds, dishing off. But the primary thing that she has brought to this program is her floor leadership, and it has been amazing. And I just hope that for all of you parents, if you could not make it here to Jackson, Tennessee, and for both schools, I sincerely hope that you're as proud of all of these young ladies as we are here from every single one of them, because they have been a total delight for us to meet. Bethany Dillard will toss it in. She's only a freshman for this Lady Bulldog team, but has started virtually every game during the season. And knocked away by Einersdottir again. That young lady has quick hands. They had to use her in a post situation when Price was down with, and Union only has 1 second on the shot clock, so all they can do is try to get a volleyball tip. So here they go. This one is likely to be a 30-second clock violation. In fact, it's 0.2 of a second. I don't know how you can do it. It has been done before, but they're going to have to get to somebody who just literally tips it off their fingertips. And I think they're going to come back over and reset it to 2 seconds on the clock. Oh, I just saw, 8:39 to go in the quarter. It's going all over the place right now. And they're coming to try to get this straightened out. Carlos Spencer, who is the veteran clock operator. And now they've got it. 2 seconds on the shot clock. So they got, if they can get it into anybody who can get to the ball, they just got to put it up quick. They're going to lob it high, and it went completely away, and that was about the best she could do trying to get somebody to shoot. So they gambled on that. They were hoping they could get it into the other wing guard to put it up. I'll tell you what I like. See somebody like Knapp, despite the team being down 26 points, she's got a smile on her face there. And underneath, the basket is there. Vieira, they had held her to 2 points up until that point. She's still their leading rebounder with 7. And that's one of the things that was giving Union fits in the first half because Eckerd was getting so many offensive rebounds. It is Dillard. It is 3. 5 for Dillard, a 27-point Union lead. Price working against Williams. Oh, took an extra step, but turned around and got it. Price with 7. No one is in double figures for the Tritons. Union with that crisp passing, particularly around the perimeter. It doesn't matter who Mark puts in there. Inside to Williams. She's going to work one-on-one. But the dish off to Dillard, and Dillard drills it. Dillard with 8, and Union is 11 of 23 from behind the arc, 48%. Big 3 for Price. Got it. She got the answer shot. You like to see this Eckerd team do exactly what they're doing, is not quit, not fold, but continue to play your game. Go for those threes when you have the opportunity. Thompson taking their time, under 7 minutes remaining. Cauble, who's had a lot of minutes in this semifinal game, down to 4. They got to hurry. They go to Williams, and she puts it up short. That's not her best. That is not her best positioning, and she had 6 hands in her face. And driving is Pearson, puts it up way too high, and they scramble, and it is Williams, her 9th rebound. Thompson, she's an excellent floor general. 7 points. They've let Ashton Baker have a bit of a rest right now, and so there's absolutely no fear about putting Thompson in there because she can call the signals as well as anyone. There they go. Williams against Price. They're down to 3 on the shot clock, and Williams with the spin move. Got it! 7 out of 9 from the floor, under 6 minutes. Back to the 27-point lead, 65-38. Well, it's not working the same way as it did last night, but we talked to a lovely young lady, Sophia Pearson from Eckerd, about how Eckerd won last night playing traditional old-school basketball without a lot of transitions or breakaway baskets, and here's what she told us.
Yeah, I agree. Like Maya said, we have a lot of what's it called, motions? No,
Execution.
And we do a lot in our offense, and we have a lot of Blitz.
Yeah.
But we also really like to push the ball too.
I wish you could have seen more of that, because both those young ladies that we had in the media room last night were just so pleasant, so articulate. Sophia is from Sweden, and I must tell you, even though they are not going to advance to the championship game, they have been a wonderful addition to this tournament. I know they're very, very proud of being able to make the trip to Jackson, Tennessee, and a lot of these young women got to see a bit of snow last night, the 4.5 inches that we had to fall right around here on the Union campus and throughout the city, but it didn't cripple the town in any way, because we'd had a couple of days in the 60s, and so it didn't stick to the streets as it did to a number of the yards around here. But it was a wonderful treat for them. But this Eckerd team, I was so impressed last night with the way that they were so tenacious and resilient. And they're working around the perimeter. Big three off the back of the iron for Wentworth, and Union will play it. And these Lady Bulldogs, I know, certainly owe a debt of gratitude to this student section that has backed them so strong in their 2 games. And at times, the men's team, when they have that kind of support, they had their end. What a block by Price. Perfectly timed against Shiley Morrison. Mark's got a number of reserves in. Williams has come out, and Keely Robinson back in at the post. And almost out of bounds on that one. And they go inside to Price against Robinson, and it was short. They get the offensive board, and it doesn't fall. The volleyball tip finally goes into the hands of Dillard. And Union will take its time unless it has an early good look in a possession. And they're going to get Anna McCready in the game. She's another of the players of the future for this Lady Bulldog team, and they hit. Shiley Morrison making it a 29-point lead for Union. Folks, I'm not kidding if you just joined us. 31-28 at halftime. Union by 3, and the bank shot goes through for Rendall. I'm not kidding you. This game looked like it was anybody's matchup, and that third quarter was as impressive as any you will see with Union, a 23-1 edge. And as we're getting close to the 4-minute mark, Union again taking its time. And it is Dunnigan. And it is another 3. When she starts getting hot, the place gets ablaze. A 30-point Union lead. So we have not had a barn, and there's a steal. We have not had the barn burner that we thought we might have with this game. The first half certainly seemed it was going to be that way. Dunnigan, she decided to come back another year because she didn't lose the eligibility, so she's a graduate student at Union after the COVID year. 5 to go. She's going to take it right down the lane and could not get it to connect. Price the rebound. And in the corner for the 3. Too much on it for Remdahl. Price has done a good job trying to crash the boards. Big 3 is off the mark, and the rebound coming off to Dunnigan. And timeout is called as Mark is going to bring in a slew of his young players. McCready. And I'm trying to see everybody else, and they're getting a standing O here at Fred DeLay. And well-deserved it is. And checking in for Union, they've got Sally Howell, who is a local girl from right here in Jackson. Claire Maxson from down the road in Henderson, Tennessee. You got Bailey Augustine, and it is just really a great night that you can do this and get your young players in here and give them some action in a semifinal. And Shiley Morrison, again, she's a point guard of the future for this team. Puts up the 3. No, just short. But Augustine, who will fight anybody for a rebound, the jump ball in the alternate possession will go in the opposite direction. So here we go, under 3 minutes. And I can tell you, Mark Campbell will coach this team the same way he does his starters. When they're in the game, he expects performance. And it's there, and the foul. Foul is charged to McCready, and going for a three-point play the hard way is Hannah Wentworth. She has 8 in the game tonight. Give her 9. This has just been horrendous in three-point shooting, though, for Eckerd. 4 out of 31 for 13%. A horror novel. You just couldn't have that happen. And some nights it just doesn't come together, and this just happened to be one. And that one had no authority in it, trying to get it into Augustine, who's playing the post. Augustine is really a true forward guard. And it's short, hanging up on the lip, and Augustine, she will grip and grin and snatch that rebound. Augustine is another of the freshmen. She's from Black Rock, Arkansas. And into the lane. They're down to 6 on the shot clock. Somebody's going to have to put it up. And it is Augustine with every bit of her might, and it was short. Just simply used the 30 seconds, which was a pretty effective possession. Union had a lead of 3 points at halftime, and at one point in this quarter, it was 31. What a second half it was, and beautifully knocked away. Perfect timing on the part of Sally Howell. They have 17 on the shot clock. So it's a Gulf South matchup. Union against Valdosta State. And that's what it'll be on Monday night. A rematch of what happened here on this floor 4 years ago. And down the floor. And I have to tell you, Howell will just go right into a buzzsaw and give it the first 2 rounds. And traveling. She just took a step too many before she tried to move in to get a closer shot. So a minute remaining, and Eckerd will try to at least get some respectability here. As I tell you, he's played all 9 of his players. He does not have a deep bench that he can go to. Last night he played 7 in the victory over Florida Southern, and the foul is charged to McCready. Union has only committed 9 personal fouls in this game, and here we are at 8:58, and this game has been played in not quite 90 minutes. This is why I say I hope one day the men will adopt quarters in their style of play, just like the Olympics and the NBA and high school, because the games go faster. And she connects on the second. Union's got to try to put it up one more time unless they make a turnover. Big 3. Yes! And look at the smile on Sally Howell's face, the young lady from Trinity Christian Academy. And this may be, the foul is going to be charged to Claire Maxson on the drive. And that is only the 3rd team foul on Union, so they'll play it underneath with 27 seconds remaining. So we thought really there was an opportunity in both of these semifinals for it to be really, really down to the wire, and it hasn't happened with either one. In fact, anything but. Long 3. Yes! Scales with the 3 to make it a 73-45 game. She has 7 points, and Union will probably just skate out the game time with 21.9 seconds remaining. And I'm not really sure what the discussion is, but I think it's over. Sometimes you're not real sure. So Union's Lady Bulldogs, a 25-point victory, a huge standing O across the house, 73-48 after leading only 31-28 at halftime. A dominant second half performance. It will send them Monday night into championship of the Women's Division II South Regionals right on this floor against a rival they've seen many times before, Valdosta State. And the last time those two teams played, it was down to the final possession with Union winning 59-56. So let me give you a rundown on the stats for this one tonight. For Eckerd, 18 of 65 from the floor, 28%. It was much better than that. It was around upper 30s at the end of the first half, but it was just a nightmare in the second half. Three-pointers, 5 of 33 for 15%. This is not a team that typically is going to shoot 33 three-pointers. They were 7 of 8 for 88% from the free throw line. Union finally came from a deficit at halftime and out-rebounded Eckerd 30-29. In the first half, Eckerd was getting, oh my goodness, they were getting offensive rebounds like a lot of people do Fig Newtons. As the Lady Bulldogs come off the floor with a lot of smiles. And for Union, 24 of 53, 45% from the floor, but 13 of 26, 50%. And a lot of that happened in the second half from three-point land, and 12 of 14 from the free throw line, 86%, and that included a perfect 6 for 6 from Jalencia Williams, who had another stellar night tonight and didn't play really but about, if you get right down to it, by the time she came out of the game, didn't play but about 2.5 quarters because she was out of there for most of the fourth quarter after the game was no longer in doubt, and she was out for about 6 minutes of the second quarter after 2 early fouls. So she did that with only, I'm looking at my sheet here, 31 minutes during the game. So a terrific night for her. And it was a night that Union picked up. Here's the unusual stat here. Both teams made 12 turnovers. Union is usually the team that really scoops up points off turnovers. Eckerd had the edge with that 14-3. And if you had shown me that stat, I would tell you Eckerd probably won the game. But it's just because the shooting was it just was off the charts in the opposite direction of what you'd like it to be for the Tritons in the second half. Scoring tonight, they held this Eckerd team. This doesn't usually happen, but only one player got in double figures, and one of them was that late three-pointer by Maya Price. She ended up with 10 to lead them. 9 for Hannah Wentworth, who was in the starting lineup tonight. 8 for Ainersdottir, and 7 for Nicole Scales. They managed to halt Sophia Pearson to 6 points and Vieira only with 4. For the Lady Bulldogs, only had 2 players in double figures as well, but you had Ashton Baker, Emily Beard with 9 points each. Each of them had 3 3-pointers. Ashton had the first 2 3-pointers of the game to really get a jump start for the Lady Bulldogs, almost like she did last night. And she ended up with 5 rebounds as well. Bethany Dillard had 8 points and 5 rebounds as well. It was Shanique Lucas she was 5 out of 10 from the floor and 2 out of 4 in 3-pointers, had 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal to give her 14 on the night. And our player of the game once again is Jalencia Williams. Unquestionably, she has dominated this tournament in playing only 31 minutes. She had 20 points, was 7 of 9 from the floor, a perfect 6 for 6 from the free throw line, and that rarely happens for Jalencia. 9 rebounds, just one short of a double-double. 3 assists and a block. That was her 73rd of the season. And it was just a crystal performance across the board. And so our player of the game for the second straight night is Jalencia Williams. And so as Fred DeLay Gymnasium is beginning to empty out, we are going to call it a halt for the evening and tell all of you how much we've enjoyed being with you this Friday and Saturday. We will be back here on Monday night for Championship Monday, and it is Union against Valdosta State, and it's no surprise to me that it could be both of those teams. You got the number 1 team in the country, and even though you got one that was the number 7 seed in this tournament, this Valdosta State team, I think were better. I think it was a better team than that seed. They probably were seeded lower because they went out in the semifinals of the Gulf South Conference tournament. It's going to be, I'm going to say it even if it doesn't turn out to be that way, it is going to be a dandy because it is almost every time those two teams get together. So join us. We'll be here at about, probably start a little bit early. We'll be here about 6:50 so we can have a little more time to set the table for you. We'll be here about 6:50 on Monday night, Central Time, and hope all of you will be with us live from this very floor on David Blackstock Court in Jackson, Tennessee. Let's show you the people who have brought you this game tonight. Billy Bolin, Andrew Burris, and Eris Hollingsworth on cameras, and they have done a brilliant job for all of you. Chris Reasons, once again, terrific director, and I've been proud to have him by my side, and our ever-cool, ever-present director, the boss himself from Worthy Road Studios, Paul Schultze. I'm Steve Beverly, and so until Monday night, when it's going to be a big one, Championship Monday, so long from the great hub city of West Tennessee.
Looking for a Christian college or starting the college search process? I want to take a second to tell you about my school, Union University in Jackson, Tennessee. Union is a private 4-year university known for its rigorous academics, Christ-centered community, and the success of its graduates. My favorite part about Union is the faculty. The professors here are so intentional about helping students grow not only academically, but also spiritually. You should check out Union for yourself. Come for a visit. I know you'll love it. At Union University, you'll be transformed.